Hey everyone, it's Austin and welcome back to the channel. It's day 334 on my journey to 2000 where I'll be uploading a video every day until I make it there, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're digging what I'm doing, and let's get into it. Alright, after yesterday's loss and win, we're at 1843 going into today's game. We'll see if we can actually get a 1510 today. I don't know why it was such a struggle to get one yesterday, and it seems like it's still taking a while to match again today. I don't really understand. Is it just me or is the music like louder? I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Yeah, I really don't understand why there's a problem finding a 1510 game. Feels very stupid. I wonder if Apex or some of the other guys ever have a problem finding a 1510. Let's ask them. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're playing against a 2000. Let's do it. No fear. Opponents from Vietnam. Good luck. Queen's Gambit declined. Marshall. We go for the symmetrical because we want to build a Catalan. I think it's important to understand how your openings change as you play different moves. So this is the Queen's Gambit declined, and then like, you know, this would be the main line. This is the Catalan. There are a bunch of other lines. I mean, I guess you would say the main line is playing Knight C3 before you play Knight F3, but... So now we're in the pseudo Tarrasch, which is characterized by these four pawns sitting together. And now that I've played here, it's saying that it's the open Catalan, which I don't quite think is correct. Now we're in the Indian game, Knight's variation, apparently. Okay, so I've never seen this before. Probably should have just taken with the queen. Because now where do I go with my knight? Now where do I go with my knight? If I go back, then he plays this. Just dancing my knight around the entire board, which doesn't feel great. This could very easily potentially lock down my light squared bishop as well if I allow that with tempo. I don't know. I do think that it's correct though, because anything else just seems like terribly incorrect. It's hitting this pawn now, so he kind of has to do something. If he takes, I'm gonna trade queens going here, pressuring this pawn while simultaneously hitting this pawn. He'll lose castling rights and elf castle on the next move, but I don't think that he's going to do that because he's a very strong player. And we get to study a new variation that we haven't faced yet, so I'm excited for this. You know, every day is the opportunity to learn something new with chess. That's why I chose it as a hobby that's very important to me. So this feels a little bit weird with him having a pawn on e4. Versus, you know, we would like to have a pawn on e4 most of the time. But I'm starting to think that long term he might be overextending himself. And he's still not very close to castling. Yeah, I thought he might do that. Takes, he might just castle, which is valid. Takes castle, knight, or bishop g5, preventing knight takes, and if queen takes, then knight c3 comes with tempo, except not because the bishop would be hanging. Queen takes, I would snap off the knight though, damaging his structure after castling. Here, knight takes. I take the pawn. Does he have any scary discoveries? Here. Castling on the next move. I think I can take here. Which is really important because if he sets this pawn wedge in, then my light squared bishop, which is supposed to be my best piece, would quickly become my worst. And if queen takes, knight c3... No, queen takes actually threatens the knight, so I can't play knight c3. I'll have to consider some move like bishop e3 first. Bishop e3, knight, g4. What about just e3? That's a little bit scary. I'm not sure what else I have, though. Here he just plays this, and then I, like, lose the game, basically. So let's play e3. He's got me under quite a bit of pressure already, which I love this. This is how you learn things and how you really test yourself. I love playing against stronger players. I think it's really, really important for your development. There are people that purposefully force the ratings that they play against to be lower than what they are. I think that's backwards. I think you should always play people that are higher than you if you want the best development. So this knight actually has like a little bit of an outpost right now. I mean, obviously it can be challenged by other pieces, but no pawns to mess with it. All right, buddy. I don't like that. Let's go here. Still defending this. Potentially pressuring this. But my light squares are very weak now because I had to play e3. And he's got this clamp on e4. I wonder, like, I still just wonder if queen takes was the move that I needed to play and I just missed it. Or if this is just kind of like okay for white. I mean, it doesn't feel like I'm losing or anything, it just feels like I'm cramped. Okay, so he takes. I'm actually going to go for an IQP here to open up my dark squared bishop and to allow, you know, like potential ideas. Mostly just to open up my dark squared bishop, but the other idea was to go for an IQP with a queen trade, which just feels nonsensical. You can't push this because it's pinned, obviously. I think he wants to just go here. And I was right. Really not digging my position right now. I'm just trying to get my pieces developed. I was thinking about d5, but unfortunately it is defended twice for the moment. This move stops this, which is a really big idea of mine right now, to be honest. Wow. Okay. He wants to go here, obviously. And then it will be challenging to hang on to this pawn. Let's go here to put some more pressure on this pawn, because this pawn is going to be a big piece. Here, pressuring the pawn, push, now that I have two pieces supporting it. The knight gets kicked around, the knight perhaps goes here. And then we have three pieces defending, and I have three pieces attacking. It's not... doesn't feel great. Perhaps... No, from here, the knight can target this square. Oh god, that's disgusting. No, I can't allow the knight to get there. Oh no. Okay. We're gonna readjust, and we're gonna just target this with everything that we have, I think. Here, hitting this pawn. Takes. Takes. Here. Takes. Takes, would be perfect, but he has an intermezzo here, takes, and then this check. Queen back, defending the knight, queen up, hitting the knight, hitting the bishop, bishop trade. All that still looks reasonable. Takes. Really? Okay. Feels a bit unlike a 2000 to break the tension like that. Come on, Austin. Arrows. If only this worked. If only that worked. Because the queen covers the back rank square. And the rook can always go back, defended by the knight, actually, so the whole idea doesn't work. I don't see a reason to let the queen in. I think that's bad, now that I saw that move. So I'm kind of feeling like this and just... Oh, sorry, rook 81 and just push the pawn. Maybe that isn't so bad, actually. He can't push because I just take. This connection is cut. Here, here. Takes, takes. Takes. Takes, takes. Here, here, here. What does he play after that is the question. What does he play after that? Then this. Takes. 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 I kind of feel like this is still the idea. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but just cutting this off feels really good. Headed for a knight versus bishop endgame where I have an isolated queen's pawn that is a passed pawn. But my light squares are very weak. He was able to trade the light squared bishops. If he moves the knight, then the pawn falls. Check here, then here. Same story, except I'd take with the queen to force a queen trade in that position. Well, I couldn't, because then this would just be mate. So I would still take with the knight to defend that square. And then I'd just come over with the queen, I guess. Here, here, here. Takes. Takes, takes. Takes, takes. Takes, takes, takes. Takes, takes. Would be stupid because his queen's hanging, so he would take here first and then take there. And then my weakness is gone and I've gained a pawn. This comes with check. And he has to take it with the queen because his queen is hanging. So after he takes it with the queen, then I can take back. But then the pawn falls. And I feel comfortable stepping into this because this is a solid bailout option. Because it comes with check. I think I'm calculating properly. I mean, I don't know. You never know. Alright, so he chooses to take like that. So takes, 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 takes. And he can't, like, everything's defended, right? So let's just take here, and we should just be up a pawn. Now, if I were him, I wouldn't go for the queen trade here. Okay. I must be missing something. Takes, 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 takes. He can go here or here. I'll go here. And then he has to play a move to defend from back rank mate. And then I'll go here. I could do those things. Okay, that's a nice move. Nice job, man. Good, nice job. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go for 2 connected passed pawns in the center of the board as compensation for the piece. And then we're going to try to trade a pair of rooks and promote the pawns. We missed something, it's okay. We're going to do the best we can from here until the end of the game. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. There's no reason to sit and sulk around about it. Takes, bring the other rook over, and start pushing. Okay, so he's going to be patient, which is good. Let's defend, so now we're threatening to move the bishop, and now he has to take. Now we go here. This would be a weird move. I know you're not supposed to trade when you're down material, but I think that him having a rook on the 7th rank is going to be lethal. He's going to gobble both of these pawns, and that's not what we want. So we want to bring the king here, and we want to push. At that point, it was just already too late. I think we just move the rook, right? Strengthening our pawns as well. If he goes here, I'm happy. Then it's potential that I could occupy that file. If you push too early, you run into knight here. There's no reason to allow that. With tempo on the rook, dropping the pawn. I like this idea, and I like bringing the king. Interesting. Here, here, here. From here, the knight sees these squares. So I would have to bring my rook up, which allows this, hitting the rook again. So what I might want to do is push this before I push this. I might have to after this move. I didn't even consider this move. Wow. Wow. That's all I can say is wow. Alright, I have to activate my king now. Yeah, sorry I'm not talking again. I'm just thinking so hard because this position is so interesting. No way. What is that move? He wants to blockade. I'm gonna have to play this so much slower than I thought. That's gonna be a pretty big adjustment for me. I have to go here because he's threatening this or move the rook. He's also threatening this, so I have to move the king. Move the king, go here. This is so interesting. Here and I lose the pawn. Or there. Let's think for a second. I've made another mistake. Got my king a little bit too active. What's the best move? Here allows check, which forces me to lose this rook, which would be great. And it forces a rook trade, so that'd be really bad. Here allows a rook trade, and he takes this with check, and this is falling. Terrible. Here, I drop an exchange, but I still have my two connected passed pawns. I feel like that's what I have to do. I actually think the move is king takes. No, then this drops because it's pinned. So we have to do this. This guy is so good. I'm still finding tricks at the very end, baby. Material's about to be equal, but I'm a minute to 4 minutes. And you can see all my hair is falling out. That's just how freaking stressed I am. It's like, I just have bad genes. Very bad genes. No way. What? This guy is literally just too good for me, man. Nah, this guy is too good for me. Oh my god, what a move, dude. Like, talk about just sitting there and finding the best move. What a killer. I love it, though. Like, this is how I'm trying to be, guys. Like, this, I want to be like this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times have I said this game? Look at him, so patient, so patient. Look at him taking his time when I have 30 seconds on the clock. I'm telling you, this guy's like my freaking role model right now. Yeah, killer. He's an absolute killer. Just this check. But I have to try. I have to try. The idea is check and then get into a similar position. Yeah. Why did I hang that pawn, bro? On my mother, why did I hang that pawn? It's okay, man. It's okay. It's alright, Austin. Don't be hard on yourself. You played a good game. He just outplayed you because he's a really good player. And there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that. But I just gave him perhaps the easiest win condition. Interesting. Coach will be proud of me for this game. I kept the stick on the ice the whole time. That's what it's all about, man. It's all about keeping the stick on the ice. Yeah, I just got mated. GG, buddy. Very good game. Check in, mate. I loved that. I only played a 78, he played a 90. So this is all book, and my best move was actually to go knight fd2. And his best move is e3, f takes e3. Yeah, like, why would you allow this? Go here. That way if e3, it hangs a pawn. I like my move way more. e4, knight d4 is the only move played in the database. This got played one time and it black won, obviously, because that's just a horrendous position to play. Okay, this is the best move, but what about knight g4? Knight g4, queen c3. No, that's not queen c3. Knight c3. Oh, because I have time. I have time now. Queen e5. Queen e4 check. Nah, this is ugly. I mean, we're up a pawn, but it's like... How good could that possibly be? Now you have to play king f2. If you block, you drop the pawn and lose the game, obviously. Wow, that's... So I think he played a really good line here. Bishop e3 is better. Now it's slightly worse for us. Knight here right away, apparently. And then after queen h5, queen b3, rook e8. Taking is better. This is drawish. Knight c6. The pawn is hanging. Bishop e3 seems the most obvious. Black is just slightly better. If somebody plays queen b5 in this position, like, literally just report their account. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't... Who would trade queens in a position like this? Okay, so this was a mistake. Needed to go here. But his plan was to push this anyway, so why, like, give him a tempo to do that? Now it's a mistake because of queen c... Again, like, who is trading queens here? Like, maybe you guys can tell me in the comments, but, like, why the hell would you trade queens in a position like this? Like, I just don't... And why would you try to force it so hard? Like, it just seems really bad. I don't know. Still this? Hello? King f4. Now if you take this, we take this. And it's... Black is still better, but he gave up a lot of his advantage. Which, that is the best continuation. Not saying king f3. Take this. Take that. Still hitting this. Rook takes h2, d7. I would sack. Yeah, he sacks. And he ends up just up 2 pawns. But, like, you're... In this position, I have tricks. In that other position, you're never going to win. Well, why is it saying this? Oh, because it's pinned. Wow, I blundered mate in 1. Yeah, this was really stupid. He's threatening this. F4 check, but just king e7. Now the pawn's hanging. Of course it wants us to just hang the pawn. Yeah, I mean, it's already -8 in this position. Okay, it was just a friend request message. I thought he might have messaged me back. Let's go through it one more time. I feel like this game has a lot in it. So first of all, he just chose a weapon against the Catalan that is just fantastic, apparently. Knight takes. Castles. Queen takes being played. Okay, so if castles. Knight c6. Now knight takes. Now this doesn't make sense because we can just play knight takes c6. Knight takes c6. C takes d. You should obviously play c takes d because if knight takes d, then we come in with this. It doesn't like that though. So the position I was just looking at was, instead of this, knight c6. C takes. Supposedly the best move. E takes. Now knight takes. Giving him an isolated queen's pawn with solid pressure. If you take, I think you're just probably losing. Yeah, it's just +1 here. We have so much pressure. Knight c3 is coming. Bishop g5. Okay. I feel like it's so natural to take the pawn back, but it's just not as good. Like, you should castle first. Even here, knight b3 was better. Allowing this check and knights. Please play knight c3. Thank you. I mean, if I'm black, I feel like I'm taking this. Because then you get this. And this just feels really strong. No, but this is check. Then knight d2 hits all the pawns. So we actually end up just probably going up a pawn here. Bishop e6 defends that pawn. So we'll take this one. Now we go here. I'm assuming we have to play this. Bishop g5 is a smart move. King c7. Probably. No. Yeah, bishop takes. G takes. Can't move this at all yet, so... Oh, it wants long castles, which is hot. And, like... I know I'm really going down the rabbit hole, but it's just... I think it's good just to look at some engine lines sometimes, just to get some inspiration. A4, B4. This, and it's still hanging. Knight D1. Rook here to get a tempo. Queen D2 hits that, defends the D pawn. A5 reinforces. Yeah, there's also just this check. Yeah, I mean, this just doesn't feel... A4 makes no sense to me. Let's think of another move that's more practical. Let's think of another move that's more practical. Bishop takes is more practical. Then after knight takes, this is a threat. This pawn's hit 3 times, it's defended 3 times. You're like basically never going to be able to do anything about it. You can't even you can't really even double the rooks because just knight g4 hits anything on e3 in addition to hitting this, so I guess we could do this, defending this while simultaneously not stepping into knight g4. But it wants a4 again, looking at the engine. It wants knight d1 again, looking at the engine. These moves are asinine. I mean, I don't understand. Rook e2 is a mistake. Rook 88. Okay. Now it doesn't even want to defend the pawn. Like, why? I don't understand why we don't defend the pawn. Oh, of course, because of h5. Yeah, h5 is just crushing here. Can't you tell? Like, whatever, bro. The idea in general, I think, is that we're never actually going to be able to double pawns. We have too many weaknesses that we need to defend. Sorry, double rooks. We're never going to be able to double rooks. We have too many weaknesses that we need to defend, so we can never allocate the resources for it. This just feels so much worse. Knight b6 is weird. Okay, this makes sense. Rook f2 is weird. a4 is weird. King f8 only move. Yeah, rook a7 is the best move. b3, terrifying. King f7 check. Take on g7. Would be better to go back. Going here, hitting the knight, preparing this. Wow. This move also makes sense. Here, if you go here, you get mated. That's crazy. Alright, sorry, I'm just like really enjoying looking at these engine lines because it's just such an interesting endgame. So this is only a good move. What if I had done something like this? Rook d2. Now it's saying rook d2 is the best move. But now you have knight f6 because it's pinned. And then when I come back, he can blockade. And this sucks. Yeah, I mean, it's -3. Like, you're not supposed to win, obviously. But Maybe this would have been a better try, just to try to get him to slip up. I mean, I know that he wouldn't have. He would have just played this. And that move is super obvious. Now it wants d7. Why would you just sack a pawn for nothing? You can just take that. Because it's -7 and it doesn't matter. The fact that that was mate in 1 is hilarious. I was hoping that he'd slip up here. I mean, like, I'm always looking for ideas in these positions, man. Like, I was looking for him to, I don't know, like, attack something from behind, and then I would take here, and then bring my king in, potentially, and, like, have ideas like this, but he was just a freaking killer, dude. Very, very good. And the position is so lost that when I hung a pawn, it didn't say that there was a problem with that. But it did have a problem with me hanging mate in 3. Oh well. Alright guys, well, that one was a bit draining. If you made it this far in the video, thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate it as always. You'll have to let me know what you thought about today's game. I thought that it was very interesting and instructive. Kudos to my opponent again. Can't commend him enough. I really like playing high level games like that. So thanks again, and I'll see you tomorrow.